Life. Life is a disease. A millennium ago, a supreme necromancer was on the verge of conquering the world. But you know what they say about best laid plans. Inevitably, heroes shall emerge. So, I was made dead. Again. But what does death really mean for somebody who has mastered it? Boredom. An eternity to ponder my errors and how close I came to victory. I am a mortal, but when this world ends, even I will know oblivion. And so, I ask myself, will I be given another chance to rise before it happens? Another chance to fulfill my ambition? It seems that fate has smiled after all.
Hi everybody, welcome back to Yukikaze Gaming. Today we're going to be trying Iratus, Lord of the Dead. This is something I just got for 80% off on Steam, and it should still be discounted like that as this video goes up. You can see the disclaimer here says Iratus, Lord of the Dead is a hardcore tactical roguelike. This game is difficult and your minions will likely die, and don't think they are expendable just because they are already dead. Every fight is a challenge, and resources are always limited. Enemies are strong and show no mercy toward their undead opponents. You will need to play smart and adjust your strategies for different encounters and enemy types. In short, be prepared to spend several hours mastering the game to achieve victory and bring death to the mortal lands. So, from what I can tell, this is pretty similar in concept to Darkest Dungeon, only kind of you play as the bad guys. So, the concept I found really interesting, and that made me want to give this a shot, even though I think it's probably going to be a little bit less polished than Darkest Dungeon is. But if you like that kind of game, then this might be something that you might consider picking up and trying for yourself. I've not played this before, and I have only just a tiny bit of experience with games like Darkest Dungeon. I've definitely not beat that or anything like that. Maybe played it for like an hour or something at one point. So, I don't expect that I'll be too super terribly good at this, but we'll see how far we get. A mode for beginners. More starting resources, more battle rewards, weakened enemies, no elite enemies in normal battles. Enemies can't get inspired. Average vigor recovery for minions out of battle. Average mana recovering for Iratus out of battle. Graveyard efficiency increased. Oh, so apparently I can't even select the higher difficulties until I've done the tutorial on Cakewalk. Allow you to quick save and quick load. The game will also be automatically saved at the start of each floor. Available only on the Cakewalk and more pain difficulty levels, so basically allows save scumming. And then apparently I have to clear the tutorial to be able to go into the higher difficulties, so I guess I better do that whether I want to or not. Evil has returned. The dread necromancer Sir Iratus has attained his freedom after a millennia of imprisonment, and the miners gathered around his tomb still do not know the mortal danger they have stumbled upon. Their bodies will lay the foundation for an army of the dead that will conquer this world. Rise! Minion abilities. Each minion has 5 basic abilities and 1 ultimate ability. To use an ultimate ability, you need a special resource. Wrath. Minions and enemies can use certain abilities only from specific positions and with specific targets. Okay? I don't want to fight, she says. Who is she? A banshee. Okay. And I've got a skeleton. I don't seem to be represented here myself, as of yet. I'm assuming that Iratus is, your avatar within the game correctly. Right, move left. Don't see any reason to do that right now. Nothing on that page. Just kind of trying to learn the system here a little bit. Unassuming strike, physical attack deals 100% damage, ignores armor. Or smite, physical attack, attacks twice, dealing 50% damage per attack, performs additional attacks for each buff on the target. Okay, well right now the unassuming strike seems stronger. Okay, so it's the 6 buttons that are usually in like the movement area of the keyboard. And then, okay, you have to click the target. Physical and magic damage reduce the target's vigor, which I guess is basically health or HP. Igniting deals instant magic damage to the target and true damage at the start of their turn. Stress damage decreases the sanity of the target, so okay, it does have a sanity system, like Darkest Dungeon does. Only this time it seems like the sanity meter is working against your enemies instead of against you as the player. And it's a resource you have to manage on the enemy side to try to kind of demoralize them, I guess. Cursing a target will deal stress damage at the start of its turn. Critical hits by your minions decrease the enemy's sanity. Enemy critical hits will increase it. Okay. I will probably end up forgetting a critical component of that at some point and learning that the hard way. Okay, Scream. Stress attack deals 100%, 19 to 21 damage. Moves the target to a random position. Okay, so it hits their sanity meter directly. And then Soprano stress attack deals 40% damage. All enemies lose 6 attack for their next action. Doesn't stack. I guess this... Okay, yeah, this hits everybody. And this is a single target. Is it gonna force me to use Scream? Can I try to use... Okay, I can try to use... Alright, and it doesn't matter who I target with it, because it hits everybody. But I do still have to target. Loss of sanity in combat can lead to various consequences. Insanity, a negative effect that weakens the enemy. Inspiration, a positive effect that strengthens the enemy. Well, that's not cool. Death, receiving any amount of stress damage while at 0 sanity can lead to instantaneous death. Makes their heart explode. Flee from combat. At low levels of sanity, the enemy on the outermost position of the combat row has a chance to flee from combat. Okay. So, okay, so it defaults to a specific attack, which I guess is the one in the top left. Actually, or always so far at least.
One less annoyance in the world.
Eh? Murderer! Alright, well, I can't see a reason to use the S ability now since there's only one target. And I think this will make them go insane? My shift will kill me before you do. Okay, so this could end up killing them from the insanity effect, I guess. Victory. Dust. Weapons. Armor. Blood. Bones. Rags. Heart. Skull. Flesh. Plasm. Alright, I have to create any 2 minions. Creating minions. After gathering parts from his defeated foes, Iratus can create new minions for his army. Using parts of uncommon, rare, or legendary quality increases the amount of stat points of the created minion. With time, Iratus will acquire new minion recipes as well as various combat tactics. Okay? Skeleton, a fairly unimpressive warrior whose one standout characteristic is their utter mediocrity. While they often make up the backbone, pun intended, of most undead armies, skeletons are so boring that they are never really acknowledged by their creators or their enemies. Zombie. Before Iratus came along, zombies were considered little more than fodder troop by other necromancers. It took a true visionary to realize that a mindless mass of undead muscle can be used for more than simply bashing the heads of mortals. With a bit of technological assistance, these rotting hulks were turned into mobile artillery, capable of carrying and shooting cannons that would normally need several humans to operate. Oh, so they're, artillery. That's not what I would have expected. Can't see their effects. Abilities? I don't really understand what any of that means just yet. Volley, magic attack, buckshot, igniting. But yeah, it is, Bride of Iratus. A design fashioned by the arch-necromancer himself, the bride uses only the best part to raise a deadly archer with an unhealthy love for her creator. Said love is then channeled into a burning desire to shoot out the eyes of anything that might try to get close to the one she worships. Brutal. Does sound like a pretty solid backline unit. Chest piercer. Gleams of love. Watch. Think of him. Shot. It's for a lady. Dark Night. A manifestation of living void contained in a vessel of knightly armor. These necromantic soldiers are often seen leading the armies of undead against the civilizations of mortals. Where they learn the skill to do battle and wage war is unknown, but all of them despise
Perfection
existence
takes time and proper ingredients.
And seek to reduce everything to nothing. Okay, so definitely frontline melee fighter that's probably significantly stronger than the skeletons. Banshee we already have some experience with from the first battle. Definitely seems to be like a sanity reducer and debuffer. Wraith. Despite the seeming simplicity of this minion, its summoning has been prohibited by the Necromancers Guild since the dawn of history. Not even Iratus remembers the reason for this decree, but there are many dark rumors surrounding this particular summoning. It is said that the very first Necromancer created this minion as a vessel for his rebirth, or that the soul that answers the Necromancer's call comes from the not from the afterlife, but from another much more alien place. Nobody seems to have had the courage to put these theories to the test. Or maybe those that did never survived the process. Still, the guild has been nothing but ruins for millennia. It is now up to Iratus to decide what to do with this knowledge. And werewolf. The guards of the underground prison used to hound prisoners for fun. It was particularly fashionable to bet on which of the poor souls would be torn apart first by the raging war dogs. But a flesh-based diet, however nutritious, was not healthy for the creatures, and some of them died from gluttony. Well, now their pet cemetery serves the necromancer, who revives the ugly beasts, craving to tear out their former master's throats. And it seems like... Okay, so there are some differences in what's required for each thing. I think... it seems pretty reasonable that I probably want one of these Dark Knights on my front line.
Every war needs its generals.
And then... I think I want one of these for my backline troops. It looks like I've got multiple parties here. Okay, I do have a way to kind of switch things around. Let's see. Okay, so it can attack from either of the front two positions, generally speaking. Oh. Great work. Okay. The dungeon. The kingdom had need of the vast riches buried underneath the castle, great veins of iron that promised to fuel conquest after conquest, along with ancient artifacts from a long-forgotten age. The dwarves were eager to offer their services in this project, bringing their untested mining equipment and experimental concoctions for the promise of wealth. They only needed bodies that could obey, and the humans could provide. With the dungeons filled to the brim with both criminals and rebels, there was no shortage of slaves to work these mines. Drugs were used to keep them as docile as they dug ever deeper, year after year, unaware of the mortal danger that awaited them below. Okay, so I'm going to start off by murdering a bunch of drugged-up criminals and convicts turned forced labor for slave mining. So, okay, I have to make my way up through the mines, into the dwarf tunnels, then the mercenary barracks, catacombs, and finally the cathedral, apparently. And there's some branching paths, I guess. I don't know if maybe... Not sure if you can only go one direction, or if you can clear out all of them if you want to. Well, for now I only have one option, so let's see what happens. Unit features. Some enemies possess unique features that either strengthen or weaken them. Study the features of your minions and your enemies so that you can fight more effectively. Okay, what options do I have here? Deals 100% damage. A critical hit will deal 175%. Flames of Love, Ignite. It's the target on fire for 2 turns. For watch, whenever an enemy deal 60% damage to it. Buff, Ride gains +10 attack and +10 tread until the battle ends. Warning shot, stress attack. Interrupt stances. Don't see a reason at the moment not to stick with feature. When the Taskmaster dies, his allies recover 30 sanity. Okay. Start by shooting a man. And physical attack. It's additional damage equal to 80% of the sum of the knight's armor and resistance. Stress attack. Support removes all debuffs from the Dark Knight. Each time an enemy receives a buff, the Dark Knight deals 60% stress damage to it. I think I'll just go ahead and finish this guy off with an attack.
So, this is what 1,000 years of evolution looks like? Yeah, pathetic.
Go ahead and debuff the enemy team. Armor, resistance, block, and ward. Armor, received physical damage is decreased by the amount of armor that the target has. Resistance, received magical damage is decreased by the amount of resistance the target has. Block, expend to completely nullify the next physical attack. Ward, expend to completely nullify the next magic or stress attack. Okay, so he had a ward that just got used up, and he also has a block that's still on him, it looks like. Okay, so Skeleton is immune to all buffs and debuffs. The Dark Knight can't be critically hit. Plus 25% luck against female enemies, so she crits better against females. Chance of enemies to escape increases by 2% each turn until it reaches 10%. Let's try this attack just to see.
This is my kind of entertainment.
So now, if I understand right, this attack I'm about to do should do no damage. Which, knowing that probably wouldn't be the best thing to do, but I want to test this theory and understand the battle system. Here we go. Yep, blocked. Okay. Makes sense. This guy have any armor? No, he doesn't. Set you on fire! Fire! Tutorate!
Mine is the winning side.
Achievement unlocked. Improvement. After winning a battle, Iratus receives rewards. Digger's souls used to construct and improve buildings at the graveyard. Parts needed to craft minions. Artifacts that can increase the power of your minions and Iratus himself. Brains used to quickly increase the level of minions. Additionally, minions that did not participate in a battle restore a small amount of vigor, according to the difficulty level. Scroll of Skullfall. Dust, weapons, armor, blood, bones, heart, flesh. Talent point. Iratus with the acquired artifact. There are 4 main types of artifacts: weapons, armor, rings, and amulets. You will also encounter consumables such as artifacts only apply for one battle, after which they are spent. At the beginning of the game, Iratus receives 1 random artifact. Could seem to have any.
It embellishes my undead features.
The only one I have is the one I just got from the battle.
Time to bring out the big guns.
Zombies are actually mostly a front-line attacker.
It's only for me. I crafted it that way.
Trying to set up a second team here. See what that... Something.
You will bring me their heads, their hearts,
Achievement
and
unlocked. Blood Moon.
everything else. Hardly an inspiring leader, but irrelevant for the armies of undead.
Okay, I've got a second squad ready. For whatever that's worth. Actually... See... any second to last position? Oh yeah, his ultimate. Guess this is how you select the team to attack with? Cultists who gift Iratus with random consumables or minion-specific items. Oh, okay. It's a friendly thing. Mechanical aim, zombie only. At the start of each turn, the zombie receives +4 accuracy and +15% damage. Stacks up to 5 times. The bonus is removed if the zombie changes position. Wedding gift, bride only. Increases critical damage dealt by 50%. Heart of Emptiness, Dark Knight only. 5 mana and 5 wrath restored each time the Dark Knight receives damage. Moon Shard, Werewolf only. It receives +5 luck and 5% critical hit strength until the battle ends each time they take damage. Stacks up to 6 times. Here we go. Okay, next battle. We'll go in with the one that has full health. And it'll also let us try out some new units. Resources and magic. Iratus possesses the following stats and resources. Mana needed to use talents from the magic, ire, and destruction trees. Mana is restored after every victory in combat. No minion abilities or certain counters on the map. Not though. Wrath. Needed to use the ultimate abilities of your minions. Wrath increases during combat and resets after combat ends. Spell power. Increases the effectiveness of active Iratus talents. Iratus gains 1 spell power point for each level and can further increase it via artifacts, talents, minion abilities, etc. Oh, okay, now I have some spells. Okay, I guess the minion movement effects were spells. But then I've also got the scroll that I got. Buff. Werewolf receives +15% luck and 15% critical hit strength for 2 turns. Other minions receive 10% or 10 luck and 10% critical strength for 2 turns. Doesn't stack. Hunting down attacks against kind of the back line. Pair up. Target loses all armor and resistance until the battle ends. Ignores block. This actually seems really useful against this frontline fighter. But I think I want to start with the Curse of Madness. Oh, it affects 1 unit when he uses it, not the whole team at once. Okay, so I think I'll use the tear up after all then. Minus 30 accuracy. Stances. A type of ability that some minions and enemies can use in battle. Stances differ in duration. One turn stance, a stance that ends at the start of the character's next turn. Stance until the battle ends. The character will maintain the stance until it is cancelled or the battle ends. Any stance can be cancelled via force movement or stunning, unless the description of the stance specifies otherwise. I guess my werewolf has some kind of regeneration effect on it? That's cool.
Delivered.
Right turn. She'll finish this guy off.
Blow them to pieces!
Okay, so the werewolf does seem to regenerate a little bit each turn, which is pretty cool. That's great for a frontline unit. Especially in a game that, so far at least, doesn't seem to have any healers or anything like that on my side. Work it, he says. Oh, he has 2 blocks stored up. I see. Interesting. Now I can use Cannonball.
A
Victory is
predictable
mine!
outcome.
What is this over here? Okay, now I have access to talents. Winning battles rewards Iratus with experience that increases his level. At each level, he receives talent points that can be used on the following ability trees. Alchemy increases the efficiency of your minions and resource economy. Magic, spells weaken foes, requires mana to use. Ire, spells strengthen minions, requires mana to use. Destruction, deals direct damage to enemies, requires mana to use. Minions receive +3 dread, does not work on summoned minions. Increases the amount of Digger Souls received at the end of a battle by 25%. Increases the chance to receive common or uncommon or better parts by 25%. Advanced Doctorate. Minions restore 100% more vigor when Iratus uses Distillation. That is it. Iratus receives 100% more mana using Calcination. Okay. Spell power is at 2.
The formulae reveal their secrets.
Increases the chance to receive artifacts at the end of a battle by 20%. It's gonna cost me 2?
Through transformation, the will
I see.
becomes free.
I don't know what that first screen I was on was. I can't find those talents that it was showing me at the very start. Seems like it wasn't in any of these. Okay, 30 Digger Soul. Oh. So it does close off the other routes once you choose a route. Maybe once I get back to the crossroads, I can kind of go back in that direction? Wow. Looks like it closed off a huge portion of the map to me, though. Okay, that's another reason why the multi-hit attacks might be useful. Because the block mechanic only blocks the first hit in the string of attacks for each block available. Very good to know.
This one voided its bowels just as it died.
Gross. Debuff the entire enemy team.
This will be your end. Maybe I'll craft this one into furniture. As worthless as you were in life, you will be worth something in death. A sad display for mortal kind.
Oh, 6 brain. Minions upgrade. Minions evolve and can be improved in multiple ways. Leveling grants a minion stat and skill points. Every level a minion gets two stat points for improving stats. Every third level, a minion gets 1 skill point for upgrading abilities. Using parts of higher quality grants a minion additional stat points. Parts grafted onto a minion can be improved by digger souls. Items provide your minions with additional features. Receiving buffs and debuffs from minions items doesn't trigger any effects. Crafting a brain instantly gives a minion additional experience. Okay. I think with the Banshees, you pretty obviously want to put a lot of focus on Tread. That's their whole deal. Minions evolve and can be improved in multiple ways. Leveling a minion grants stats and skill points. This is the same thing it just showed me. Attack is pretty important for her, but it costs multiple. Armor is also pretty good for these guys, especially because some of their attack abilities scale off armor. But I think I'm still going to lead off with an attack upgrade. Okay, what's going on with the Banshee? Why is it still all glowing and everything? I don't know why. See any unspent points or anything like that? I wonder if that's a bug. Okay, well this episode has run a little bit long. I'll go ahead and call it here. Thank you everybody for joining me on Yukikaze Gaming. I hope to see you again next time. Matane! That's all for this episode. If you enjoyed, please like, comment, subscribe, or join me on Twitch or Twitter. Hope to see you next time on Yukikaze Gaming. Matane!